All right, and we're back on another episode of Salient Points. This was 131 for December 6, 2023. I'm Carlos Macias, the master of what, Dalan?
Master of the glue factory, good sir.
The glue factory, as we like to say, that the glue factory refers to going to sleep. So I sent out little emojis. I don't know if we put it on wax before, but I sent out a little horse emoji and a little factory emoji because we know where the horses go after they conk out. If any kids are listening, sorry. I'm sorry to break it to you, but that's where they go. I think. I don't know. Maybe it's a myth. I'm a little sniffly, so I might need you guys to carry me a little bit, but we'll see. We'll find out soon enough. Dalan Kirkwood from up in the mountains. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Yep, I'm here, not hungry.
Oh yeah, off wax. You were munching down on what was it, man? What are we?
It was a McDouble.
Okay,
it was a McDouble with mac sauce.
With mac sauce, do you have to ask for that special made or something? The mac sauce.
Why would I have to ask for mac sauce to be special made?
You just said I got the McDouble. I'm sorry, I'm sick. With I mess up even when I'm not sick, so even doubly so now. But you just said McDouble with the mac sauce. Like, why did you make that specific?
I do have to specify to add the mac sauce. Everybody who eats at most restaurants knows these minor details.
Little secret though, the mac sauce, just like any quote unquote special sauce out there, it's just fucking Thousand Island Ranch or whatever that's called, man. What is it called? Thousand Island?
Thousand Island dressing.
That's all it is. Mm-hmm. That's all the secret sauce is. I'm sorry to keep blowing, little kids' minds over here, but that's all it is. Special sauce is all it is. Luis Mendez on the wheels of steel. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting it done. Luis.
That's all
Luis keeps track of the time, and he's like, we already spent like 4 minutes just talking about
13 minutes past where we said we were going to start.
So. Hey, I was ready. Hey, but look, the big thing. So this podcast is going up on a Wednesday because we heard from Rockstar. They were like, we're going to drop this new trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6 December 5th, which was yesterday. And of course, it leaked. So we were like, we pushed the podcast, and then I was trying to rein everyone in. Let's talk about it today. But, everyone had plans, so I understand that. But look, we got the high qualityness. Rockstar said that our trailer has leaked, so please watch the real thing on YouTube. So we did get that. Instead of having a nasty, low-quality version of it, Rockstar did the smart thing, and they said, here it is. Fuck you guys. You guys spoiled the surprise, and Salient Points got pushed back for no reason for a day. But it's fine. One of the things that, if you guys are interested to know, is that the Guinness World Records is already saying that, quote, it's not even been 24 hours yet, but we can confirm that the GTA 6 trailer is already the most viewed video game reveal on YouTube in 24 hours. It's like up to like 100 million views or whatever. One of the things that came out right away is like, when is this thing coming out? 2025. So all these 2024 games, they're like, okay, not dropping in 2024. We can freely space out our calendar. The background song, of course, is Love is a Long Road by Tom Petty. And there's even a little hashtag in one of the little windows of the stores. If you guys notice, the quote unquote, or they use the hashtag Petty Forever. We learned that it's going to be set in Leonida. So it's going to be a big old state. Of course, so they've kind of expanding it from Vice City into a big old Florida state, kind of like what we saw with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and into Grand Theft Auto 5. The models look incredibly realistic and nice. It was 90 seconds of a lot. I feel we got a lot, because in previous trailers, and I think we had mentioned it before on our recordings, is that usually you get like the setup of the beautiful, New York skyline and all that. You don't get any real story, but we got kind of quite a lot. It's confirmed basically it's going to be kind of a Bonnie and Clyde sort of story, right, with Lucia and her boy. What's the guy's name? I forget. I was just focused on Lucia, man. I'm sorry. What was do we know the guy's name? Whoever the guy is, nobody remembers.
We know the guy's name. They didn't say it in the trailer.
Oh, okay.
They've said it before in other leaks and stuff.
Okay. Look, I thought this thing was incredible. They definitely showed more than I thought they were gonna show. It looks amazing. The characters look amazing. The music that they played on there and everything. The cars are all there. The cheetah is back. It looks super nice. But look, we'll go to maybe like our resident GTA fan, GTA Online fan. What did you think? What did you make of the trailer, Luis?
Yeah, so for clarification, I don't know why Guinness specified video game. It is the most viewed video seen in 24 hours on YouTube in YouTube's history.
Nice.
Like in general, not just video game revealed.
Nice.
Yeah, I think the previous one was a Mr. Beast video at like 59 million, 60 million, something like that.
Yeah.
And last I checked, and there was still like 2 hours on the clock, it was at like 79 million for GTA.
Yeah,
So,
it's up there.
yeah,
It's up there.
good shit. But,
Yeah.
yeah, this was a lot more than I thought we were gonna see, honestly. I expected just like, here's Florida, basically, or, here's Vice City. And
We hadn't
'cause
heard
in
the name,
I
right?
think,
Leonida or Leonida, maybe.
no, that's new.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and it's on par with their last two releases. Like you said, GTA 5 was the state of San Andreas, and Red Dead Redemption 2 was a collection of 5 states. So that they've kind of grown into more just like cities, into more like states.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, the Red Dead Redemption 2 reveal trailer was like, I think there was some. Yeah, it was just the wilderness, and then the reveal of characters was just like, here's a posse running through a field real quick for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, that was all you saw. That was the original trailer.
Yeah.
So on this one, we saw people twerking on top of cars. We saw naked people watering their lawns. We saw all kinds of shit on here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thought it was cool. Thought it was nice.
Yeah, we definitely. It seems a little cruel though that we get so much information, right? And it's like, ooh, okay, this is nice. Okay, fall 2024, let's get it. But no, it's like we get all this, and these guys are gonna like wait. I don't know. Maybe we get another glimpse next year, next December, maybe, right? And then maybe like the release. But I don't know. I'm thinking this is like late 2025, hopefully early 2025. But
yeah, I mean that's on. I think I said that.
Yeah.
Somewhere within the past 5 or 10 episodes where we were talking about this, I'm pretty sure I said 2025, 2026 is when I expected the game to drop.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me. But yeah, I mean, who knows? I'm sure they'll drop a trailer, at least one trailer, if not 2 or 3 in that time. So
yeah.
We'll see.
It's definitely it's got me hyped for the possibilities in this world, right? It's looking huge, which is funny. I saw somebody tweeting about it that it's like, this world looks way bigger than Grand Theft Auto 5, which when you think about it, that's based in LA. LA is much bigger than Miami, Florida, or Florida itself, or Miami, Florida. But I mean, when they're including the whole state of Florida, though, right? It's like these guys are just. Maybe that's why they need an extra year, man. Maybe that's why they're like, you know what? This is going to be wild. We got crocodiles. We got all kinds of wackiness happening in this thing. And we're talking about the parody aspect of it in a little bit. But what do you make of the trailer, Dalan? You're hyped, I'm assuming, for GTA 6.
Well, I definitely wanted to see it because you've been talking about we need GTA 6 for I don't know how long. Stop longer than GTA 5.
That's coming up later.
With that, but you pretty much said literally everything I was gonna say right at the beginning of your opening there. But the fact that it definitely looks like Bonnie and Clyde dropped right into the middle of Florida, I still think that's an interesting way to actually create the game. And so I'm actually a little more down to play this story rather than I was of GTA 5. I understand GTA 5 had a good story, but I might be more down to play this one because it definitely looks more wacky. I watched them pull an alligator out of a pool in the middle of that trailer.
But yeah, and it's definitely one of those things where they're kind of like, instead of having 3 characters, we can only assume there's going to bring it down to 2 characters, right? With Lucia and her boyfriend, of course. And it looks like they're going to, from what I understand, there's going to be a lot of little, like, maybe, kind of burglaries, little small town stuff, and maybe build up to a bigger story. So we'll see how it plays out, man. I'm super excited. Go ahead, Dalan.
I did have the question because of them being upset about the fact that it leaked. Were they not planning on releasing this trailer at all until that leak happened, or were they planning
on a day early?
Yeah. So they did plan on releasing it today, but it leaked the day before.
Which is like I had said, that's why we kind of pushed the podcast. But it's funny because off wax, Luis sent me the text. He's like, "Yeah, the trailer leaked." I'm like. I was thinking about that too. Like the other day, I was like, you know what, it could leak, but like, we'll talk about it today. So here we are. But look, on the parody front, I don't think sometimes we follow the same socials that we don't follow the same socials. Me and you, Luis. But apparently, there's people that don't understand what GTA is. And this is going back to, of course, it's supposed to be a parody, right? But one of the concerns about a year ago, there's an article on Kotaku, and it's based on a Bloomberg report, is that maybe they're going to dial back some of the the craziness of the game. This is in a Kotaku article from July 27, 2022. It said Bloomberg reports that in addition to trying to improve working conditions internally, the studio is also trying to be more culturally sensitive, especially since American culture has become, as the article puts it, a parody of itself in modern times. GTA games, parodies of American culture dialed up to 11, have been criticized in the past for their misogynistic treatment of women and offensive jokes that target marginalized communities. A playable female lead is apparently part of trying to address that. Now, as far as the trailer's concerned, they're not dialing it back, man. I think they're going all the way in. And you know what's so beautiful and perfect about it, now that I'm thinking about it, is it's just parodies of what you see on social media, man. What do you like? It really is like you can pull every single, the crocodile out of the swimming pool, the naked guy watering his lawn, the girl twerking on top of a car. Dalan, you can find clips of every
filmed on TikTok.
You can find every single one of these references in real life. So if anything, of course, lean into it. I love it, man. I love the fact that and we'll see with the story, right? Obviously, the lead is a Latina woman, right? So you can be culturally sensitive and be like, look at this ridiculous shit that's happening online as well, right? So then I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it because it seems like it's a story that's gonna be grounded, right, with the Lucia and her boyfriend aspect of it, but it's also there's wacky shit as has been happening in all GTA stuff.
You sound super hyped, Carl.
I'm very. Hey, this is why I've been telling you guys to log off GTA Online, because they don't feel the
hyped
pressure.
Enough to do the Doomsday heist, Carlos. Hyped enough to do the
probably. But look,
he's so hyped. I want to go back.
It's because
to log into GTA.
See, the thing is, it's not that I hate GTA Online. It's that it's so successful that they don't feel any pressure. We don't another bully sequel.
500 million last year.
Yeah.
But now that they have now that the pressure is gone and the trailer is finally released, and they gave themselves a hard year, are you gonna hop in before all of it dies away?
I mean, sure, man, but and it's probably I think they're probably trying to figure that out too, the online aspect of it. How do they integrate it? How they work on it? But before we move away, we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But as far as the parody, I know you said, at least in one of our chats, you said that it's basically a mirror, a social mirror. And then I read an article from Eurogamer's why is Eurogamer in our chats listening to Luis, what he's saying? But what do you make of that, Luis? Because I know you fully I feel like you grasp, right, the parody, and there's people really online that don't understand that's what GTA has been, or based on what you've seen.
I don't know, maybe because there is a loud enough section of the internet that I've been seeing that are I don't know how many of them are joking, and I don't know how many of them are actually saying it for real, but they're like, oh man, this game is woke now. You're playing, they have a woman in the game, there's a woman in the game, it's woke, and I'm like, okay, I'm willing to bet some of those people are joking and just kind of saying it to say it.
Yeah.
But Rockstar has been in hot water since Grand Theft Auto. They since the very first game they made, they've always
said
been
you could just shoot somebody and take their car. They've been on hot water.
Yeah. And the people complaining about their games aren't the ones buying the game, so I don't think they really give a fuck, honestly.
Oh no, they're complaining about it and buying the games.
Whoa, I think the majority of people complaining aren't playing them.
Yeah.
It's people that look at it and I don't want to shoot cops. I don't want to teach people to buy guns and shoot people. It's okay, but maybe sometimes you just want to drive a car and plow people on a beach, it's a video game. You don't necessarily do that in real life.
Yeah.
I don't think Rockstar cares, dude, if there's people that are complaining about it, because they're not the ones that are keeping the lights on. So
yeah. Which
they gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, and they can do both. Based on what I'm seeing, they can be both, man. They gotta, like I said, it's a grounded story along with, because if you look at the trailer, it's kind of split in two parts, right? You get the introduction of Lucia, she's kind of getting out of jail or prison or whatever it is, and you kind of go into that, and then the second half is nothing but TikTok videos and Snapchats and whatever else. And it's we're gonna do both. We're gonna do both. You guys just watch. And I'm super hyped about it.
I think especially because of the whole Florida scenario, you kind of have to lean into reality and be lean into the Florida man. And make the whole game about Florida man, basically.
Yeah.
So I like that they are grabbing what is some crazy shit that actually happened in real life in Florida? Let's put it in the game.
And it's really cool, man. I mean, you don't really get too much of a sense of it, but I wonder like what kind of cameos we get. Of course Ray Liotta passed away, but I wonder what kind of cool cameos, like it's gonna be 40 years later, whatever it is, from when the original Vice City, right? Grand Theft Auto Vice City was set. So I'm kind of excited for that, and I'm glad that they, like you were saying, they're leaning into Florida, man. That is modern day Florida. That's what's going on over there. So I kind of liked it, and I'm looking forward to it, man. But as far as the leak is concerned, I know the developers were a little upset. This is from a VGC article saying senior gameplay animator Javier Altman wrote on X that the early publication of the much anticipated reveal video had robbed them of plans to watch the live reaction with the rest of the development team. Quote, "This fucking sucks," and quote, they wrote, "I was hoping to watch this for the first time tomorrow along with my fellow teammates and coworkers. I feel we deserve that moment," end quote. Alman added, "I'm so proud of what we are making. Enjoy the trailer, everyone." So I like how he was like, and then he's like, all right, just enjoy, man, just enjoy. But Luis, what do you make of this, sir? It does kind of suck, I guess, that kind of happened, right?
I mean, I know the stories circulating out there. I think the original GTA leaks were like the co-founder, president, some higher up kids like logged into his computer and was like, "Here's a bunch of
like one of their sons or something like that." Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I don't know, because people are saying the same thing kind of happened here, not necessarily the same person. What I think happened was because they put the video up on YouTube as a premiere, there are ways to get into basically Google's back end and grab the video and download it that way if you have the link. So I think that's what happened. I hope that's what happened, because if it's the prior, like I said, I fear for the implications that it might have on this whole like working from home situation. They're like, man, y'all, we can't trust any of y'all at home to keep stuff.
Everyone come
back into the office.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of my fear. So I'm hoping it is just the fact that they put it as a premiere on YouTube.
Yeah,
I
mean, look, I'll
necessarily some kid just like popped in a flash drive on someone's
random computer,
leaked it.
I think you might be onto something, because really, like how we do it, I know we did the show live one time, and we probably should do it live all the time. I don't know. We'll figure that out at some point, I suppose. But this podcast is up on YouTube. Maybe I'm giving people ideas or whatever. But I mean, yeah, leak it. Let people watch it early. I don't care. But it does exist on YouTube, right, before it goes up officially. So it does have a premiere day. So I think you're onto something. Dalan, what do you make of this, sir?
Which part of it? We talk about
that it's whack. No, I mean just that it's kind of whack. Or
what do you think about the leak?
Yeah, I was about to say that, but I was going to say in regards to the leak itself, I do wish that it didn't leak, especially when people put hard work into it and try and actually make it so that everybody can see it at the same time.
And we delay Salient Points, right, Dalan? And we delay the podcast one day?
Even aside from that, sir, I'm talking about the fact that they had a specific day set for everybody to watch it. And yes, it's breaking Guinness World Records right now, but I assure you that number was deflated because of that leak.
Yeah, which I don't think they care, man. I mean, look, enough people.
No, they don't care about that.
They sold a lot of copies of GTA 5, but then they'll eventually sell all those copies and get people online. But yeah, they could have been bigger, I suppose, right? It would have been. I mean, like, it's kind of as far as the developers are concerned, right? It's like, we could have sat around like, look at this thing. We've been working on it for 8, 9, 10 years, and look at it in all its glory. Now it's just leaked. The other thing is, of course, that GTA 6 is confirmed for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, not PC, not Switch, which, I mean, come on, stinky Switch. But it is kind of interesting that not the PC, but it's not the first time. They've done it before where it comes out on console and then on PC later. And, of course, on PC, there's, like, mods and stuff like that you can mess with. I think Deo, I wish Deo was here. He's not here, by the way. He'll be back on a future episode. But I think Deo even says, like, I'm going to wait for a PC version. I'm like, we'll see, Deo. We'll see. We'll see if you're going to wait. I'm sure he'll get the PC version at some point, but we'll see if he waits. What do you make of this, Luis?
Yeah, that's not the first, and it's not the second time either that they've done that. They did that with 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. But yeah, their timeline has been, like, I think minimum a year after the game originally releases. Yeah. So Deo's gonna be waiting a while, depending on if this game gets delayed or not.
Hey, I'm willing to bet this man.
So I'm buying this game twice. I know I'm already buying this game twice. I'm getting it on PS5.
Yeah.
And then I'm getting it on PC when it comes out.
There you go. I'm pretty sure. I'm willing to bet that Dale's buying it. If not day one, he's buying it on console, man. And then Dale'll buy it on PC. The Switch, though. Come on, man. I saw people out there. They didn't announce it for Switch. I mean, it's gonna blow up that little system. It's not gonna be able to handle it. So this kind of brings to question is what happens to GTA Online, of course. Can you put the camera on me, Dalan, please? Stop logging into GTA Online, please. There's a good question that was posted to Axio Steven Totillo by Megan Cherry 25. She asked them, do you think there's any chance GTA 6 is pure campaign and GTA Online is spun into its own product? Which he responded saying, perhaps if they had a free-to-play release strategy around the online game, but presumably they'd want to use the map they're making for the campaign for their online game too, and there's no way they're giving that away for free, so I don't see how it'd work to separate them. But we'll find out, man. We'll find out. I think that'll be kind of an interesting, maybe that's what they need that year as well to kind of figure out. But you don't build this big old map to not use it, right? So it'll be, what do you think, Lisa? Do you think they'll do a side-by-side? Do you think they'll keep GTA Online and then there'll be a 6 online component? Or
you mean 5? Like GTA 5 Online?
GTA Online, right? It's not even 5, right? It's just GTA Online. And then
it's just GTA Online, but I mean, are you
city of GTA 5?
Like, do you think they'll have 2 separate onlines? They'll have GTA 6 online, and then they'll keep GTA.
I mean, at some point, yeah, they will. They'll have 2, and then at some point, and when it stops making money, they'll sunset Los Santos, you know. But
little single tier.
They're not going to. They're gonna make it online with this new map. There's no way they're gonna not use that map or make a new map.
Yeah.
For GTA Online on 6 when they already have a perfectly good entire state that they could create stuff for.
Yeah.
So
that'd be interesting, man. We'll see. They definitely got their work cut out for them. Look, we'll move into quick takes real quick. Warzone will be dropping. Oh, go ahead, Dalan. Go ahead, please, sir.
The one thing I'll say that they probably could do if they really decided to is to create two separate servers for the same GTA Online game, being that for one server you're in. What is the name of the place that you're in the GTA 5? It's not Los Santos.
Los Santos.
It is Los Santos? Mm-hmm. Okay. And then you could actually travel. You could find a travel point, or you could transport yourself to the new Vice City, and you basically have both online services on 2 separate servers, but you'd be able to jump between the 2.
I know you probably don't mean this, Dalan, but I like to think that there's only one server for the whole world for online and one whole server for GTA 6. That's what I'm imagining, man. Imagine
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be.
I think 4. That's highly unlikely.
Nah, I can't run it like that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
No, I mean what Dalan's saying.
It's highly unlikely.
Like a portal.
Yeah.
But I think that would be an awesome way to do it.
All right, look, we'll move into quick takes now. Warzone is going to drop their player count with the next edition. This is according to a Eurogamer article. Typically, Warzone hosts 150 player lobbies. Quote, this morning we announced that the player count for Warzone Battle Royale is 100 players. Reads the statement from Raven. Quote, our top priority is creating an optimal and fun experience for all of our players based on critical metrics. These metrics include time to action, the map size of Urzikstan, new circle timings and sizes, total match time 20 minutes, red dots contracts, and various new and existing second chance mechanics. Do you think this is a big deal, Lisa, that they're kind of bringing it down from 150 to 100?
I think it's a big deal in a good way because it'll basically speed up match time, so you could get more matches in the same amount of time.
Yeah,
even still now, like there's times where you go load into a lobby and a lot of your time is just spent waiting for the lobby to get filled up. Yeah. A lot of the times the lobbies don't get filled up and it just launches with, they try to get as close as possible to the max number, but it'll still kind of launch. So I think this is a good thing. It speeds up queue times, it speeds up match times, and it speeds up play times.
Yeah, I think it's a good move in a good direction there. And I think you're right, man. Sometimes we wait a long time, and it's like we're just gonna get murdered like in the first 10 minutes, man. So
I'm just gonna walk out there, just gonna get shot through a window. Man.
The other thing, DMZ. The beta, they did call it a beta this time around. I think they've been calling it a beta, but the DMZ mode will receive no future updates. It's supposed to be like Escape from Tarkov, sort of, from what I understand. But what do you think about this, Lee? This thing is basically like dead now, right? They're like, it's somewhere there if you still want it, but no more updates for it.
Yeah, they'll leave it up. There's no more updates. It'll stay on Modern Warfare 2, but they basically said we're going to take everything we learned from here and use that to make like a real mode. Because they said from day one that this was a beta, right?
Yeah.
And it's been DMZ beta like on the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they basically said we'll take all the lessons we learned here and use it to develop a like actually fully fleshed out open world sort of map mode. And they've kind of already used things that they've learned from DMZ and put that there's like things that are straight up inside of the zombies mode that were in DMZ.
Okay.
So they've already kind of applied those things and put them into modes that aren't betas already.
Yeah. So this might be something like, Much Ado About Nothing in a sense, where it's like, okay, this is dying, but you're seeing aspects move throughout the experience.
I think they see more value in not supporting this version and just making like a full-fledged version versus like trying to maintain both.
All right, nice. So it's not all sad news. Dalan, this one's for you. Safer Seas, the Sea of Thieves update is dropping tomorrow, December 7th. Private servers, finally. Do we play, Dalan? Do we play this?
Carlos,
do I jump on?
Play it on PC? I don't know if it's crossplay with Xbox.
On PC.
I'm pretty sure it is, but I'm not
on,
sure.
Dalan,
but I am down regardless if it is or not. I will start another file for playing on an Xbox if we really need to, but I prefer to play it on PC because it's honestly just fun.
But private servers, that's kind of cool though. Did you get tired of the public server? I think they can attack you and do all kinds of crazy stuff right in the public server.
I told you, man, like we did a whole bunch of stuff. We went out there, we were fighting krakens, we went to a gigantic dungeon way deep underwater, got back on our little ship, our medium-sized ship, and there were just pirates just on our ship, just waiting for us. They just murdered us as soon as we spawned.
So,
they took all our stuff and sank our boat.
So a private server would kind of alleviate some of that, right? Dalan, this other one is for you as well. Vampire Survivors mini story modes is out now. This is a developer tweet saying, quote, adventures are self-contained miniature story modes that reset and remix the game's content, end quote. I'm saying now because the podcast goes up Wednesday, but you're gonna be playing it, Dalan, as soon as this is available, I'm assuming.
I've been a little preoccupied with the games that I've been playing. That for one, that backlog is real, but for two, I've been busy playing some other games that are very time consuming. Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna jump the gun. I'll talk about it later.
Okay, but Vampire Survivors mini, the original game doesn't have like story kind of modes, so this is some.
No, it does. No, it has maps where you're supposed to go through like mini story stuff, and quite honestly, the story by itself was super thin. This one actually tells like stories of the characters in their own ways, and they actually have text that you can read. I don't know if they're going to do voice acting or not.
Walls of text, huh? Here we go.
I mean, it's old school, man. It's like 16-bit. You got to let it live.
I'll give it a shot.
But the game is just fun, and adding a full story to it, or actually little mini stories, that just makes it even better. It makes it even better.
I'm gonna tinker with it. Hey, this is a reminder, sort of a PSA, but look, when you buy digital, you rent a license, and this is just another example of this. This is according to a VGC tweet. Over 1,300 seasons of Discovery TV shows are set to be removed from the PlayStation Store. Players will no longer be able to access them at the end of the year, even if they previously purchased them. Sony did send out this message to players. They said, quote, as of 31 December 2023, weird number, whatever, man. As of December 31st, 2023, due to our content licensing arrangements with content providers, you will no longer be able to watch any of your previously purchased Discovery content, and content will be removed from your video library. The message reads, we sincerely thank you for your continued support. Luis, what do you do? I don't know. I guess, do you have Discovery TV shows, or is this really just another, like, we don't really own this crap, man?
I feel like that last portion was unnecessary.
We sincerely
they could have put something else in its place.
We sincerely thank you for your continued support.
If anything, they should have put some message in there that more directly points the finger at Discovery. It's like, it's not our fault. They're the ones that don't want to continue to support this, so we're not. But it's a weird thing. Like, thank you for supporting us in their decision that they made that they don't want.
Well, and it's funny because
watch these things.
If you guys have cable, or actually YouTube TV, right? YouTube TV will always send an email like, "Look, we're trying to make this shit happen for you." But NBC is over here fucking around.
got the smoke, dude.
Yeah, they give them the smoke all the time, right? Like, so it's funny that Sony's like, "Thank you, even though we're removing all this crap." Yeah, but it just further proves like we don't own any of this stuff, man, unless you own a physical copy of a thing. And even then, of course, it's really just a sort of a license. But if you have a physical version, like who's got to take it from you? You know, Peter Jackson's not gonna go into your house and take your copies of Lord of the Rings. You know, he's just not gonna do it. I think that's who directed the movies. Dalen, what do you think of this, sir?
I'm not too sure he directed the movies, but actually, no.
Now we don't know the lore.
You know what? I can't even remember.
Now we don't even know
I
the
can't
lore.
remember.
Go ahead, Dalen.
I don't know the lore anymore. It's been a long time since I've seen any of those movies, but I believe he did direct them. No.
Dalen,
anyways,
continue, man.
Hey, man, you threw Lord of the Rings in there. You threw a wrench in the gears. But I know that Discovery's been messing up for quite some time because it's been messing with the whole DC universe, like, from the jump. As soon as they actually merged with WB, they started messing it up hardcore.
Here we go, dude.
And yes,
Come on,
yes,
Dalen.
I will say
Dalen.
Hey, it's Discovery. Discovery is they just messed up. They're messing up. All
right, Dalen, what about this 1,300 seasons of Discovery TV, all right, that you don't have them anymore?
I was just about to say it. The fact is that they're looking at it like, we're not making enough money off of this. We're just going to pull it. We're just going to pull it. I'm sure it's just going to upset a lot of people. I'm wondering if people are going to get refunds for what they purchased. Or are they going to get some sort of credit? Just nothing. Just we're taking it. You can't have it. We're going to vault all this crap.
This is the equivalent of the CD Projekt Red situation with PlayStation, but now it's PlayStation and Discovery. It's like, well, it's their fault. They can refund you if they want. It's not our fault.
Yeah. It's very wacky, man. Look, this is just another, like I said at the beginning, a PSA. Just look, if you don't own it physically, at some point it could disappear, right? 1,300 seasons. That's a lot of TV, man. 1,300 seasons, which of course a lot of it is Shark Week stuff, I'm assuming. But that's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. The next one, this one's released. Force Gemini has broken widescreen support on Switch. This is from Save a Click. Nintendo Live via Save a Click. Thank you, Save a Click. The image is letterboxed in widescreen instead of being properly stretched vertically. Can be fixed manually with picture settings in docked mode, but not handheld mode. So if you play your Switch in handheld mode, it's just broken, man. But on TV, you can fix it. What do you make of this, Luis? What's going on here?
And this is why I don't pay for Nintendo Switch Online, because even the things that you're paying for
are broken.
They don't even properly test, dude. Somebody out there had to play this thing at some point, right? To be like, we had Force Gemini on Nintendo Switch Online, and they were like, "Yep, looks good to me," and they totally just shipped the whole thing. And they're like, "Let's make people pay for this. Let's charge people for this broken game."
Like I said it on last. It's on Rare Replay, man. You have it on Game Pass. Stop messing around with this. Probably looks a little nicer too, man. Fucking stinky Switch over here. Dalen, Halo TV Season 2 drops February 8th. Are you hyped?
I'm surprised that they're making a season 2 because the hype was strong at the beginning of season 1, but then as people continue to watch it, all I heard was a whole bunch of hate on the changes that they made to Halo. I was like, oh man, I'm pretty sure we're never gonna see a season 2. And then they announced it, I was like, ooh, let's see how they do it.
It was okay, man. I don't know if you watched the whole season, but I watched the entire season 1, and I thought it was okay. It was like there was like 2 or 3 scenes in the whole 10 episode or 8 episode run. I was like, this is amazing. This is incredible live action Halo. Yeah, but those are 2 scenes.
I don't think you cared about the lore as much as other people have.
Yeah, I'm fine with the lore. When it's adaptations, I'm fine with them messing with the lore.
Dude,
I like
you're
them.
You're always saying burn it all down, talking about adaptation.
Yeah, burn it all down. That's what I want. I already saw it in the game. The games look beautiful. They told a great story. They've even remastered Halo 1 and 2. So they're fine. They already did the story. Burn it all down and see the next one. Fallout, the Fallout show, we got a couple glimpses of it. That one drops April 12th. It looks pretty good, Dalen. I'm going blackout, though. I saw like 4 screenshots of it, and I'm like, blackout.
Dude, I watched the trailer. Watched the trailer, and it definitely at first glance, I'm like, this show is gonna look weak. It looked low budget as hell for like the first 10 seconds when they first left the vault, and their acting was very poor. But once they're out of the vault, suddenly they put work into that show. The ghouls looked excellent. There were rad roaches crawling around. They talked about super mutants. So they're doing all kinds of things. And apparently it's supposed to be concurrent with and canon for the games. It's supposed to be in the same world.
Yeah, Walter Goggins is one of my favorite actors too. So he's the ghoul guy, by the way, the guy with the missing nose or whatever. That's Walter Goggins, one of my favorite actors. So I'm looking forward to that too, Dalan. But it's blackout. It's blackout mode, man. Fallout 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. So it's like, yeah, I'm super high for it.
Hey, give me Twisted Metal Season 2.
Yeah, that one, that's fine. We can take it or leave that one, Dalan. Oh, by the way, we did review it on Seen It, so if you guys are interested, we did review the first season of Twisted Metal, so go check that out. Ed Boon says that there's more story DLC coming to Mortal Kombat 1. This is according to the IGN tweet. Nether Realms Ed Boon has confirmed Mortal Kombat 1 story DLC while appearing at Brazil CCXP 23, saying, quote, just like we did with MK11, we're going to release a second part with more story, and we have a big surprise after that. End quote. By the way, this one ended kind of interesting, Dale. If you remember, Mortal Kombat 1 was like, I don't know. I didn't really like how it ended, so this is giving us more.
Hey, I was actually pretty okay with how it ended because of the way that it rolled out. I mean, it's Mortal Kombat 1. It set a precedent for a Mortal Kombat 2. Mm-hmm. But in this particular case, them saying that they're going to do a DLC, for me, it feels like it's going to be easy to ruin the Mortal Kombat 2 storyline unless you suddenly make Mortal Kombat 2 inside Mortal Kombat 1, but then it's just weird. And then on top of that, I already sent back Mortal Kombat. I had a hard enough time just holding on to it because they need to fix their online service.
It's terrible, man, because I think I would have, I think we would have stuck with it, maybe.
I would have bought that game if it wasn't for that online issue, man.
I can't. It's just so whack, man. We tried, too. We tried hard, man, to get online. It just wasn't working. Next thing on here, Dragon's Dogma 2 is dropping March 22nd, and one of the key kind of details for this game is that it's going to be the first $70 Capcom game. Dalan, what do you make of it? I don't know if it's a big deal. They're $70 now, right? But are you a Dragon's Dogma fan or?
I played a lot of the original Dragon's Dogma, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But with them not making it multiplayer and it still being a single player game that you essentially, you don't necessarily have to be online for it, but you lose a lot of the features without online aspect. I'm still thinking to myself, why is it so much?
There's $70 now.
Why is it so much?
$70.
If the game was good, but it wasn't great, I feel like there should be a cool $50.
A cool 50, damn it. When the standard was 60 last gen, you're saying like, give it to me for even cheaper, bro. Like that's what I mean.
Hey, there are some games where it just doesn't need to be that higher price. But I understand that they've been working on this game for a couple of years.
So you're not gonna be lined up for Dragon's Dogma then too, I'm assuming.
Hey, possibly if I get some good news about the game and how excellent it might actually be, I might actually.
The good news is that it drops March 22nd and it's worth $70 maybe. I don't know. Look, the other thing.
It's worth GameFly.
There you go. The other thing, real quick, IGN. This is via IGN via Warrior64. Capcom confirms more Resident Evil remakes are coming. Quote: what games we will remake in the future is something that we would like to announce in the future. So please look forward to it. Damn it, Capcom! Like they gotta say Resident Evil Code Veronica or something, right? They gotta give us something.
They're about to release Resident Evil Revelations and whatever that rail shooter
No, Dalan, was. Not Revelations. Revelatons. Revelatons. All right. Look at that. Look at that typo on the box of that game on 3DS. Revelatons. Dalan, before I get into the Carlos's new speedrun, talk to us about Remnant 1 and 2 is on Game Pass now. So we talked off wax, but I might jump on maybe. I don't know. Like in a couple months.
In a couple of months. In a couple of months, dang. All right, Remnant 2 dropped here in July of this year, right?
Well, yeah, I guess. It's not gonna be part of my nominations. I already know, man.
Quite honestly, I have this is the part where I didn't want to spoil myself, but that's all I've been playing this last week, and I feel like it's actually gotten me off of the Destiny train.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah,
Remnant, that's high praise. Listen to it and what you've been playing. We'll get to that right now.
All right, yeah. I'll say the rest later. But I'll say the rest about part 2 later.
Okay.
But Remnant 1, still an excellent game, even if you may have had the poor experience of it breaking on you.
I think Luis was not.
He was very jilted by it.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, Remnant 1
you
and
can't make it past the tutorial that asks you to invest 3 hours into it, and then it makes you restart. You have a few things to say about it after it crashes on you fucking 5 times or whatever.
And that's reasonable. Hey, you could have that same experience for quote-unquote free, because it's on Game Pass now, Remnant 1 and 2. You can find out for yourself. I'll get into this, Carlos's new speedrun real quick before we get into what you've been playing. One of the first things I want to mention is that this is from a Kotaku tweet saying The Last of Us Part 2's roguelike mode is Resident Evil's Mercenaries with clickers. That doesn't convince me. I don't want to mess with it. A roguelike mode? Come on, dude. Get away from me. I don't want a horde mode. But it's fine. You know, if you want a Mercenaries, you get it with clickers. The Last of Us Season 2, the production of it starts February 12th. I feel like there's a delay without saying it's a delay, because from what I remember, they were getting started in January. So when do we see Season 2? Who knows? But at least
there was a writer's strike, Carlos.
There was a writer's strike. That is true. Look, but this at least gives them more time, because according to a Eurogamer tweet, they said, quote, elements from The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered's lost levels are set to appear in the show's second season. So that'll be kind of, because that's really what I'm looking forward to as far as the remaster, is getting down with these lost levels, playing through the game again, and kind of, look, I know my child has seen this game on YouTube, because that's what the kids do, but there's certain scenes in that game that I want to like bookmark and be like, all right, I'm gonna play through this scene or whatever for you, but we'll see how that plays out. But that's kind of cool. That's how big of a deal these lost levels are, that they'll show up in the second season of the show. The other thing is another sort of PSA. Don't buy the latest Batman release on Switch. This is according to the VGC article. The Switch version of Batman Arkham Knight is a, quote, unmitigated disaster, end quote, according to a new technical analysis by Digital Foundry. Following a 7-week delay designed to, quote, bring players the best possible experience on Nintendo Switch, end quote, Batman Arkham Trilogy was released for Nintendo's console on December 1st. Don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. I mean, you should know better, right? I mean, the Switch...
Kind of like Mortal Kombat 1, how that was a disaster as soon as it dropped.
It at least worked, and I played through the story on that one, man. This one...
No, on the Switch.
Oh, on the Switch. Oh, that's true. Nasty, man. Nasty. Nintendo, the fact that... Just give us a sequel already, man. These guys are messing up. Look, there's no GTA to compete with, right? There's no GTA 6, so next fall... Let's get that Switch 2. Let's get it. Fall. Nothing to compete against. That is the blast radius, the Switch 2.0. Look, the vocal minority didn't show up on the Games Award voting. We talked about it last week where people were like, what happened to Hogwarts Legacy? I think you made an excellent point, Lise. It just wasn't top-notch enough, but people still kind of made us think about it. This is Keeley saying in a tweet, we started with 30 games. Now the final 5 nominees for Player's Voice at the Game Awards are Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Genshin Impact, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Zelda, what is this? What's the
Tears of the
Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom. Thank you, sir. I don't know. TOTK? Come on, man. I can't pull anything from that. All right. Tears of the Kingdom. But I do like what
Stop abbreviating.
I do like what Jeff Grubb said. He said, I was told that the real gamers were all going to vote for Harry Potter. What happened? So it's just all a bunch of BS out there, man. No one even voted for it, even though they had to make a stink about it. This is an IGN tweet also regarding the Game Awards. Sega is teasing a, quote, new era, new energy, end quote, announcement for the Game Awards, which many fans think is Virtua Fighter related. You know the hype is real for me, Dalan. I don't know if I believe it, but Virtua Fighter, I'm down.
You're not gonna buy it.
That's day one, sir. That is day one. That is day one. You know how much I love Virtua Fighter. Cyberpunk's next update, Cyberpunk 2077's 2.1 update, is going to be the last one before the team moves on to the sequel and also the next Witcher. 330 people are already working on the next Witcher, which is nearly half of the staff, which we kind of know. They've said that that's basically the next game, and then we'll get Cyberpunk. But the Phantom Liberty did sell a lot, and this is according to a VGC tweet. CD Projekt says Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty sales have topped 4.3 million in 2 months. Quote, this is an important achievement given our plans to further develop the franchise. And I can't believe it, man. They actually revitalized this damn thing. They actually did it. Not like No Man's Sky. What's this man's name? Sean Murray's a liar? Well, he's not a liar. But yeah, he is. He told us we were going to do amazing shit, and we never got around to that.
If you can see your facial expression as you switch from one thing to the next.
The next story, Lego Fortnite, and it's going to be like one of the next updates for the game, which whatever. I mean, it looks cute. It's a little Lego piece. I like the Lego games. But the one that's kind of interesting is that they're also going to release Rocket Racing. That drops in 2 days. And I was like, wait, that seems like a little copyright infringy. It's because Psyonix is making the game. So the Rocket League developer is working on this. So that kind of piques my interest. As far as the next season, there's hints that Solid Snake and Peter Griffin will show up on there. But Rocket Racing, man. I don't think I've ever really played Fortnite, and I'll take it with this. And there's also the new Kong ride is set to open spring 2024. This is according to the IGN tweet. Super Nintendo World's Donkey Kong Country area has finally been unveiled for Universal Studios Japan, including star attraction Donkey Kong's Crazy Kart, a minecart roller coaster that jumps over gaps. So I feel like it's not gonna be as dangerous as we think, but I want it to be. Like, I want to fear my life. I want to fear for my life at this rate, but we'll find out. Microsoft doesn't want you to know how many Xbox Series are out in the wild. This is according to the IGN tweet. Xbox CFO Tim Stewart says that they stopped announcing Xbox console sales because the real performance indicator is quote-unquote content services. He also said that Game Pass would come to Nintendo PlayStation, and then Phil Spencer said, hold on. He said, Game Pass will not be coming to PlayStation or Nintendo Switch. Speaking of Windows Central, Spencer said bringing its subscription services to competitors was not in its plans. So they're already dialing it back. Remember, they were like, we'll get Call of Duty on everything. Game Pass on PlayStation, Game Pass on Nintendo, you'll be able to play Call of Duty. They're already like, no, hold up. We're not doing that. But I think they're getting their numbers up because Xbox Series X is on sale for $349. Some of these even include Diablo 4. Dalan, grab yourself a Series X, man. It's the time. $350. Sell the Series S on the black market, and then get the Series X. What happened?
I'm broke. You want to buy me a Series X?
Okay, Dalan, my bad. Okay, my bad. I'm just saying it's on sale. But look, This is, as we said last week, we will give free guidance, or at least I'll say there's a blast radius of big games that come out. This year was maybe Modern Warfare 3, right? Everyone kind of shifted around, but I guess Sega needs to talk to us, because Sega says, and this is according to GameIndustry.biz, that Sonic Superstars sales are, quote, weaker than expected, end quote. The reason our other big games launched at the same time as Sonic. Quote, we believe that the impact of another company's major title releasing at the same time is significant, end quote. So just talk to us. Just talk to us. Avoid the blast radius. Some games are this big, some games are that big. And they didn't know. But hey, that's the end of Carlos's speed run. I'll try to do better the next time. And we'll move into what you've been playing. I'll reintroduce the gang, even though it might be slim. I don't know if I cut it up this time because we're not talking too many games, at least on my end. But hey, Carlos Macias, Dalan Kirkwood, Luis Mendez, me and Luis and myself have been playing Modern Warfare 3. I've been playing the multiplayer aspect of it, but we'll get to what have you been playing, Luis? How have you been getting down with Modern Warfare 3 the last week?
Both playing Warzone and but this past week, I've been playing Warzone. But since the last time I've been here, I actually finished the campaign, and I did like the story. I liked what they did with it there, but it was short. It was very short. It ended at a very abrupt time. And you're like, oh, this is where the story ends. Yeah. Even though you can tell it's going to continue in the next installment. Because it stops at such a weird point. So that's just my biggest gripe with the campaign is overall I did enjoy it. I did like it. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. But then the story kind of just stops. Like, oh, okay.
I don't want to spoil it for anyone because it's a big deal. But there's something that happens to one of the characters, the main characters, and it feels like. Well, you guys know how I feel about the game. I didn't feel like it was that great, but I feel like in that sense it spoils the like, damn, you guys really wasted this dramatic ass moment for like basically a glorified DLC. Did you feel? Well, you did like it though. You did like it. Did you feel like it was like earned? Did you feel like you know what I'm talking about, right? The dramatic something happens to a main character.
Yeah, I played the game.
Well, I just don't want to spoil any further. I guess is what I'm saying. Do you feel like it was earned to see that happen?
I don't know if I went too far into was it an earned thing that should have been on screen or not. I just felt like it was on a good roll. Okay. It had good pacing. It was doing really so. This I have trouble with the pacing on this because it
Yeah.
picks up. It's nice and actiony. The story is picking up, and then it just goes. Oh, by the way, we'll tell the rest of it in like a year or two, and you're
Yeah.
just like, oh, okay.
Well, it's gonna be in 2 years.
That was just it.
It's gonna be in 2 years, right? The fact that
Well, there you go, a year or two.
Well, because Gulf War is the next year, right? So we'll get the right. I think that's kind of the reports. That's what the reports are saying.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's funny if it was worth on being on screen. I just feel like well, maybe it's just my thing when I go watch a movie. It's kind of like you watch these movies where it's a sad moment and they kind of built up to it and they earn it. That's what I call it. They earn that my feelings, my quarter of a tear feeling. And I was like, what the fuck? This is what you guys wasted this shit on? This is an emotional moment, and then like on glorified DLC, and it's like, okay, I mean, it is sad and it's kind of cool what happens after, but it was like, man, this is what you guys wasted this on. But in 2 years, I myself, like I was saying, I've been playing the multiplayer. It's pretty fun. I like it. I did figure out that there's a new move. Maybe this is what Prue's been talking about. But when you slide, you go into a slide and you can like snake around. That's kind of cool. Have they done that before? Am I just easily impressed and something I should have known before?
You're easily impressed.
I don't know if you're talking about a slide cancel or not.
Is that what it is?
I can't tell if you're talking about a slide cancel.
No, he's talking about slide move. It's one of those things where they built the ability to slide in the game, but if you use the move stick, like you're actually strafing, your character will turn and slide in a different direction, just slowly. You know, like in some video games, how you're sliding down like a hill or something like that, and you got to dodge rocks. He's talking about you could do that now.
You kind of like.
I know about the snaking. That's a bug. I know about that
it's
one.
a bug.
When you're like
Okay.
rocking around like a snake.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how slide canceling started. Slide canceling was a bug, and then they just left it in the game because people liked it.
So it's funny though that like for Warzone they're finally integrating it right into 3 this week. Is that what's happening? Because I know for us to play Warzone, we were playing some multiplayer in 3, and then to play Warzone, of course, it like boots you into like Modern Warfare 2, right? To go back into that one. Are they fully integrating it or not yet? They're just introducing the new map. Do you know?
The new season of Warzone will feature basically Modern Warfare 3 movement and weapons. Okay. Is what it is. But yeah, it will be with the new map for Verdansk, I think it is. Yeah. Or is it Urzikstan? I think it's Urzikstan. Yeah, Verdansk was the first one. So it'll have Urzikstan, and then also Ashika and Vondel will kind of be in the rotation as well. But yeah, it'll have 3 maps.
Nice.
I think.
We're gonna play it though. I'm gonna keep it. Look, I did kind of convince my nephew-in-law to grab it. I was like, "Are you gonna pick it up?" He's like, "I don't have the money for it." And then 10 minutes later, he's like, "I bought it." I was like, "Ah, damn. Okay, now I have to keep the copy, so it's gonna be in the rotation list, so we could get down with that if you allow me to join." I'll say it that way, I was gonna say if we invite you, but no, man, I want to be gracious here, and like, are you gonna go? So I don't think you were on the podcast last week when we were talking about the trophies, the campaign trophies. Are you gonna mess with any of those? They're kind of fun. Or I guess you're on PC.
I played it on PC, so I don't really care. Yeah.
Okay. They're kind of nice, man. Some of those trophies, they're very like, or achievements or whatever they call it on PC. But they're pretty nice, man. They're pretty entertaining. Like some of them are like, okay, you're being very economical. Just 1 bullet, 2 people, and do that multiple times through this map. So it actually got me to know some of these open combat levels. Not enough they're good, but enough to like, they're interesting. You can kind of do stuff in this. Anything else on that before we get to what you yourself have been playing, Luis?
No.
Okay, sir. What have you yourself have been playing?
I finally took a deep breath and relaunched Starfield to see what's going on in there, because I know I didn't give it its moment to shine, or at least to even try to see if I really like the game or dislike the game.
Yeah.
It's a fun game, dude. It's a fun game. I do see, why it's not like up in the Game of the Year VGA's debate or whatever, but it is a fun game. It's just it takes a minute to get used to all the mechanics again. If you've been away from that game for a while, you're like, wait a minute, how do I even just like activate a quest? It gets pretty complex, dude. It's pretty complex. Okay. But yeah, I was playing what I thought was a main quest. I think I did it for like 2-3 hours, probably like 3 hours, and then I got to a point where it got really difficult and I couldn't get past it, and I kind of was like, all right, let me just get out of here, let me just get out of this cave. Come to find out, it's just some side quest, some random story that has nothing to
Yeah.
do with the main story that I invested like 3 hours in. So I was like, all right, I just
Now is that
put
a
in.
pro or like a con? You would say that 'cause I think I gotta say I didn't play it for too long. I still gotta get back to it, but I feel like I'm understanding. I get what you're saying. I think I was working on something, and I later found I was like, this ain't even critical pathing. Now is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's kind of a. I mean, it's good in the sense that I enjoyed what I was playing, but it's a
Yeah.
con in the sense that I didn't understand that the quest that the game was like, hey, play this one, do this right now. I didn't understand that it was pushing me to play a side quest
Okay,
when
gotcha.
I did it.
Yeah.
Until I kind of went into the quest tab, and because they all have different icons, they don't. And for whatever reason I couldn't differentiate between main quests and side quests because they all just had like a different icon.
Yeah.
Each quest had a different icon. I mean, not like different types of quests.
Yeah.
So yeah, until I like kind of read the quote unquote fine print, and I was like, oh, this is just some random bullshit that I don't necessarily
I would like
be
to think
worried
that
about.
Did
that's
you at
what.
least finish the quest?
No, I'm too low level, dude. I can't. I gotta actually play the main quest, level up, and then go back and finish
Luis,
the rest.
I would like to think that it actually says it on the quest. This is just some random bullshit that you're working on.
It does.
Is what it reads.
Are you gonna see?
They got me out here on farms and shit. When I don't know what I should be doing.
Are you you gonna see it through? You feel like you're gonna see it through, or you might fall off at some point?
Yeah, I mean, I always, from the moment I initially launched Starfield, I always felt like this is going to be a game that I will be playing on and off for like 3 or 4 years. I always kind of felt
okay.
when I saw that because of how massive it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all just a question of how frequently do I go back to it. But I
Yeah.
think I'll try to play it at least like once a week.
Now is it do you feel like how it's massive, or is it Sean Murray massive? Because that's these randomly generated like maps and Earths. From what I understand, the critical path is like maybe 15 hours or something like that. So
Well, for the stuff that I went onto side quests, I don't know if that was procedurally generated or not. Everything I've run into, I haven't looked at it and been like, this looks like it wasn't built by a level designer.
okay.
So I think they've done a pretty good job of all of that, even if I've run into some procedurally generated stuff.
Okay, there you go. That's definitely one. Before we get to like our game of the year stuff, I definitely got to get to that one. That one, Cyberpunk, the DLC, and Alan Wake 2, man, I think are the one. Baldur's Gate 3, Dalan, I might be. You might have unconvinced me, sir.
Don't do it.
You might have unconvinced me. Dalan,
It's D&D.
you know it's a D&D, right? I'm like, well, yeah, I understand that, Dalan.
I know, I was here. It's not your kind of game, Carlos. Like
Yes,
you're
all right.
doing.
All right.
You're
If I got a
gonna
little,
hate it. He's gonna say you're gonna hate it.
Hey, look, the problem is it's digital, right? Otherwise, I would have gameflied it and would have found out already. So, and I know the physical version is coming out in January. So, we'll see. There's plenty to play. Look, my thing is very. Oh, are you done with that, Luis? Or you have anything else on Starfield?
I'm good, yeah.
All right. Look, for me, it's very quick. This past week, I've just been playing Mario, man. This game is starting to get really hard. I'm at the very, very last level, and I like the nomenclature of, like, this is the final world secret map or whatever it is. Okay, you motherfuckers. All right. But that game gets really hard in a way that I really appreciate, though, because it's very, like, I'm going to beat this thing. But I will say this, Dan. So I'm at the very final level. I was like, yesterday, all right, I'll give it, like, 20 minutes. I'll beat it. Then let me start getting into Spider-Man 2. And it was like 2 hours later, I was like, still struggling with this level. Good thing they have checkpoints. So Dan, the final level, how many checkpoints do they have, man? I got to 1. Tell me there's another one, please.
They have 3 checkpoints.
And each one is more infuriating than the last. You do master it, though. Master the level.
I will be honest. There is one part in that final level that I got caught on. The one that I will semi-spoil for.
No spoiler. Just tell me it's a checkpoint.
I said semi. So people understand what I'm saying when I say this. Is that the last level is to go through multiple powers that you get in the game. You have a little section.
Yeah, that's the whole conceit of that level.
Yeah. But the one section that I was super stuck on, there's a hat that you get in this game. It's called the spring hat. where you do nothing but jump. It just automatically makes you jump.
That's
and
where I'm
twirl.
stuck, dude. That's where
I
I'm stuck.
hated that part of the level.
It gets easier
so
after
much.
that. It gets easier after that. Hopefully, maybe.
After that, there were some minor parts where I had to get used to it again.
Yeah.
But that spring part, that was the worst part of that level. The worst.
Well, because to give a little more description, right? It's the circling fireballs that you've seen since Mario 1, Mario 2, or wherever it was. Like it circles the fireball, horizontal thing or whatever. But you're bouncing automatically. You can't control the bounce. You can only control it so much. And every bounce, they give you like a little square of space to land in. Otherwise, you will get murdered by the fireballs. But I will beat it. Dan, how much time did it take you, sir? And I think you're a little bit better at video games than I am. So take that into account.
I was on it for like, honestly, I was doing that one level for like 4 hours.
No, look.
I went through 150 lives. You only have a max of 99 lives. I did it so many times that I kept collecting coins and getting lives.
Yeah. That's what's funny. I was like, you told me this off wax, and I was like, you can only get up to 100, man. I don't know what's going on here. And you can collect enough coins that you'll, regain them and stuff like that. I am gonna set a limit to this, Dan. I do not want to be stuck on this for like days and days. I'm gonna give it the good old college try for like half an hour a day or something, man, because I gotta play something else. I gotta play something else, man. I was ready to play Spider-Man 2 yesterday. I was like, I'm gonna beat this. Let me get into some Miles Morales story real quick. The future of the Spider-Man world. But it wasn't meant to be.
Bother you too much. As soon as you pick up that game and you start getting there, you're gonna be like, nah, I gotta beat it. Nah, I gotta beat it. Oh, my alarm went off. Nah, I gotta beat it.
I stayed up an extra hour yesterday, man, and I'm a little sickly. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I was like, I need to get to bed. But I was like, okay, let me get down to 55 lives. And it's like, you know what? I didn't get to the point I needed to get to. So it's Mario Wonder, man. It's wonderful. Once you get to those hard levels, it's infuriating, but it's like in a good way.
Hey, I enjoyed the quick jump levels. The one that you have to jump to the beat. It's like TikTok and the platforms are falling from under your feet. I enjoyed those are especially the last one.
Yeah, some are not necessarily super hard, but they're very like the design.
Challenging.
I mean, these guys are master. Look, no spoilers, but Wonder is pretty wonderful, and we're gonna find out when we get to our Game of the Year talks. Dalan, what have you been playing, sir? We'll end it on what you've been playing.
All right, so I didn't actually put the whole list of things I've been playing because I went back to do things like Pistol Whip so I can get some exercise and Beat Saber. And
you only get exercise with your right arm, man. You only it's only is it two-handed dual? Cause you
can do it dual, but I normally try to do it one-handed. But I put it on hard mode, and you're still dodging bullets all day.
You're
feeling it in your abs.
That's true, but you really only have the one arm that you're shooting. But my bad. Go ahead, David.
For the most part, you only got one gun. Mm-hmm. But aside from those general games that I had gone back to try and play, I loaded up Cris Tales again. I was almost turned off from this game because the homie Jeremy, I'll put him on lights, Jeremy, our friend Jeremy. The fact is, he said this game was not what I thought it was going to be, so he stopped playing it. And it made me sad. So it made me think it was a terrible RPG for a minute.
Yeah.
But then I actually went back and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a real shot for myself just to see how I like it. This game is not bad. It has some childish moments. You can feel how it's like very Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends in some cases. And you're like, why would these people even have these thought processes? But outside of that, the game is actually a solid RPG. So I actually intend on continuing to play through it and beat this game.
Is it is it on Plus Supreme, or what are we looking at here? Our Game
Pass? I know it was on Plus Supreme. I don't know if it still is because I purchased it. So
okay.
You can definitely check.
It's a ringing endorsement right there, Dalan. The fact that you're I'm going to plunk down cash for it.
I know it was on Xbox Game Pass for sure at some point. So just check. You tell me. You tell me.
Just Google it. Whoever's listening, just Google. We don't know. Just Google it. What else, Dalan?
But outside of that, the one game that has been my constant this past week, because Remnant 2 became free on the Xbox Game Pass, as we mentioned earlier. Another one of my homies, Ricky, he hopped on it, and we started playing co-op. Like, you can just go through the entire game together if you wanted to. But I learned something about this game that I was not aware of. Is that for each time you start the game, the worlds are shuffled. So you will each have completely different places.
It's roguelike-ish. I'm starting not to like this, Dalan.
No. That roguelike-ish is not really roguelike. It's just they put you in a version of the world, and they give you one of like 4 different storylines that you can go through. And they'll put different dungeons on that map. And it'll just be set that whole playthrough. You don't have to re-roll anything.
How close
set that one time.
Is this to Returnal, man? Because Returnal,
nowhere near it. Nowhere near it.
Returnal will mix shit up, and I'm like, no.
No, it's not like it'll reshuffle every time you die.
Okay.
It is once you are in that world, that is the world. The game has chosen that path for you. Okay. It will not reshuffle unless you decide that you want to reshuffle the campaign. You don't have to reshuffle it at all. But it'll shuffle it randomly each time you start that campaign.
Okay. How many players?
You only
is
have
this?
to do.
How many players is this? How many players is this game? How many co-ops?
I know it's at least 3 players. I can't remember if it's 4 players. I'd have to actually double check. I know it's 3 players. So if you wanted to join us, you could, or we could join your world. Either way, but it's more Dark Souls than it is roguelike.
I mean, the Dark Souls.
It's a Dark Souls shooter. It's actually an easier Dark Souls, and it's actually super fun. I've had nothing but fun playing this.
Dalan,
I really like Dark Souls.
I got a new camera, man. Is this still the old one right now? It doesn't look it's very blurry right now. If I had the other one, which I hope is a little crispier, you could see my disgust, man. Like, I don't like what I'm hearing at all. Like, Dark Souls is like this, but easier. But it's also like Elden Ring. It's rough, man.
No, it's nowhere near Elden Ring.
Okay. But it is co-op, man. Co-op makes everything better.
Yeah, honestly, co-op made it significantly better when you're trying to actually go out there and get items, guns, and go through these dungeons, fight these gigantic bosses. It's just easier to have a second person to help pick you up.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it, man. Good thing. Hey, good thing you're having fun with it. You were playing it even if it wasn't on Game Pass, or you're playing it because of Game Pass. Did you?
I bought the game originally on PS5. Okay. So one thing I'll actually say about the game, because now I've tested it on both PS5 and Xbox Series S. Maybe it's because I'm on Series S, but those textures sometimes didn't want to. I was seeing it off the bat. PS5 never noticed it whatsoever. Xbox Series S immediately, I'm like, what happened to this door?
Dalan.
And then suddenly all the textures pop in.
I'm telling you, man. Okay. Xbox Series X, $350. Buy the one with the Diablo packed in. Just do it. Just do it. Don't be scared.
Just do it. You deserve it for yourself.
You do
deserve
it's
Christmas, Carlos. Get me an Xbox for Christmas. I'll appreciate it. I won't even ask anything from you for next year.
And look, that's the end of our show. Carlos Macias, the master of what, Dalan?
Master of buy me an Xbox.
Oh, okay. Now we changing it up. Dalan Kirkwood from Up in the Mountain. I'm glad you're having fun with Remnant 2, Dalan. And
I am. Yeah, maybe I'm about to go play it right now after I'm done recording.
That's a ringing endorsement right there. Actually, do you crossplay from PS5 to Xbox, or no? You just started Xbox.
That particular game you cannot.
Okay, there you
go.
So
I had to start over, but I didn't mind starting over, and that's when I found out that they were generated differently. I was like, why is this world so different? I went to Ricky's campaign. Why don't you have these dungeons? What the heck is this monster? I don't remember this boss.
Anytime you tell me shit about randomly generated stuff, then I'm less excited. Less excited, sir.
Carlos.
Less hyped.
I'm sorry. I got to take a step back because I need you to understand that it does not randomly generate it as you go on. They just generate it one time. They generate one campaign for you, and you can just run through it. It's all the same, regardless if you go to world.
The thing I want you to understand, Dalan, is the fact that it's randomly generated at all is upsetting to me. Dalan Kirkwood from Up in the Mountains. Luis Mendez on the Wheels of Steel. Let's get you out of here, Luis. I'm surprised. I think we did okay though, given the fact that it was looking rough. It's good. It's looking rough. We did about 60-ish minutes or so. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you guys next time. Latest. And Dale, you were falling asleep out there, man. You were conking out.
I was.
Conking out over there.